All right, season 5, episode 6 and 7, A Christmas Carol, as well as Emily. So this is another double header. One features almost no Mulder, and the second one features Mulder pretty heavily. So what we had discussed is that during this season, a lot of episodes either don't feature Scully or don't feature Mulder, or don't feature either of them, because they were filming the movie and they were like trying to work around their schedules. So we get stuff like this. All right, so we get Christmas with the Scullys. And, Scully's trying to be there. She's trying to have time away from work. But when you know it, an X-Files finds her on Christmas.
Finds her.
So she gets a phone call. She calls in. She's like, where did this come from? She goes to the house. There's a murder that just happened there. And they're kind of like, oh, there's no connection.
Yep.
Like, bro, what are the odds that an FBI agent got a phone call from that residence, traced the call back there, a murder just took place there, and that there's no connection at all?
I thought that she, heard Melissa on the phone.
She did.
Yeah. So that's why she's like, there's a connection. But you're right. I mean, from their perspective, saying that there's no connection.
The fact that an FBI agent would get a call from that house right as a murder's happening, I would think they would at least talk to her about it.
Yeah, maybe a little.
You would think that that's a weird thing to ignore. So, not great police work on their behalf there.
Yeah.
We got Bill's wife is pregnant.
Yes.
I don't really give a shit. Bill can suck it. And
he's a good brother.
Scully does officially confirm, which we had already suspected, but it is confirmed in this episode that she is indeed infertile. But we figured that was the case since all the other girls are as well. But I guess she finally tells us. Scully calls Mulder for, but as always, she can never tell him when she has something unexplained happen. She never wants to sink down to his level and make it look like maybe he's right about all this supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
It's really dickish, in my opinion.
She's very prideful, I think, in that sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. They both have a hard time opening up to each other in general.
Yeah. They need to grow up.
They do.
As adult as they seem.
They're very childish sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, Scully finally kind of gets a taste of what Mulder goes through. Because when she tells the detectives that she thinks she received a phone call from the dead.
Yeah, they're like...
She's like, oh, this is what it's like to be Mulder. This sucks.
Yeah.
This is why her and Skinner hide it when they find some supernatural stuff, because they're like, nah. Mulder is like, I don't care.
Yeah, Mulder's so used to it. And I think in this season later on, we were talking about, after watching a few episodes, which we haven't gotten to yet, Mulder is very angry that they are taking this, they're especially Scully being more, I think it's even, no, it's not this episode, sorry. There's an episode to come with an abductee that Scully is taking very seriously and is like, you should listen to her. And Mulder is just like, no, he's so angry about it. He's like, no way. All the time that I was believing in things and you guys didn't have my back and now you want to do it.
Right? 100. And so, I would be the same way.
Yeah. That's funny. But this 2-part episode, it's very sad. This is a really big bummer. And it's a huge thing too that happens. Sure. So she discovers that this woman has a daughter, and she
thinks it's Melissa's.
She thinks it's Melissa's because she sees a picture of her and it looks so much like Melissa, so she takes it home and is looking at it compared to Melissa's baby photos, and it's they're identical nearly. And she's like trying to talk to her mom about it, trying to talk to her brother about it, and they're like not really believing her. But what's weird is that she does end up getting a DNA test.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a match. Where
it's a 60% match that it's her sister. So, of course, it never crosses her mind that it could possibly be hers, since she would know if she was pregnant or not. But then the 60% becomes 100% when it's revealed that it's Dana's kid, not Melissa's.
Yeah, which is really wild. Yeah, just very crazy. She's like, oh, it's mine. And so it's sad because she does try... so the father also gets murdered as well because the little girl is like... obviously an experiment, and they've been taking her to this like experimental treatment that really is just that, experiment continuing basically under the guise of like a potential treatment because she's not healthy. And the father ends up getting killed, and so Dana like wants to adopt her, and
she gets rejected.
She does get rejected, and it's really sad because it's like Christmas Eve, and the social worker or whatever comes over to the house and is like, I think that your like job is not good for you to have a kid. Like you don't have you don't have a partner. You don't have a husband. Yeah. R.I.P.
Queequeg.
And Dana's kind of like, she honestly is like, what I feel is if she got custody of Emily, she would quit her job. That's what I was sensing.
I think she'd become a doctor, yeah.
Because she was like, I've since getting cancer, like I'm reevaluating like, my priorities basically.
Sure.
Which is, very true.
Yeah.
So, but it's sad because she is like so genuine and heartfelt, and like I think she would be a wonderful mom.
Once it's revealed though that she is the biological mother of her, I don't think they'd have much of a case to not give Emily to her.
Yeah.
But by that point, Emily falls ill. So I don't think there's much talk of the adoption past that.
There's
anyway.
A little bit. She still is like, because the social worker does come like in the second episode.
Even while she's in the hospital?
Yeah, she comes and is like, what can I tell them? Like, because she's like, the treatment that you're doing, like, it seems like you're making things worse, and like you're not in the right headspace to be like making decisions for this kid right now.
Yeah.
And Scully's just like, no, I am. Like, I know what's going on. I'm doing my best.
Yeah. Well, there was no saving this kid.
No, and that's what's so sad, because then Fox does show up in this episode, and, it's very interesting, like, because when he comes in to meet Emily, he does, like, a little goofy thing, but he's just, like, looking at, like, Scully as she's with this kid, and it's an interesting, like, moment.
Well, I mean, he knows what it's from.
Yeah.
Like, he's not an idiot. He doesn't think, like, Scully had a kid behind his back or anything. So he's wonderful with the whole thing.
Well, he does make this comment, though, about basically saying, like, she was never meant to exist. Like, so, like, if we can't save her, like, she's not supposed to be here kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Which is really, it does sound harsh, because it's like, okay, she still exists now, though. Yeah. Like, even if she is, like, this hybrid that maybe isn't gonna make it, like, she exists now, like, and that's definitely how Scully's looking at it, so.
Yeah. We do get to see the origins of Dana getting her necklace.
Yeah, that was really cool.
She also gives that necklace to her kid in this, but gets it back very quickly after she turns to freaking sand.
Yeah, so sad.
The episode actually opens with this, like, weird dune sand, like, opening.
I think that's supposed to be, like, a dream that she's having.
Yeah.
Which is very weird, because we don't really get a lot of dream sequences from any of them. But this is, like, really supposed to be Scully's, like, introspective, like, I want to be a mom, basically. This is, like, the episodes where we really feel like, oh, she wants to be a mom, and it sucks because she's literally had that choice taken away from her.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
But we'll see what happens. But,
yeah. But we also have, as far as, like, sadness of the show goes, this episode goes, I don't know who I feel the most sorry for. Emily, maybe, because she's a child who doesn't get to live past, like, 3 years old. Obviously Scully, for dealing with what she's dealing with. But we also gotta talk about the fact that these parents adopt her and all they get for their efforts is murdered.
I know.
Like,
It's
they take
really
in this
sad.
kid, and then the mom's killed, and then the dad is like pinned with the murderer and then killed.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Awful. Yeah, really horrible.
I mean, they're probably both just like really good people who were just trying to take in a kid, and all they got for it was murdered.
Yeah.
That's, whoo boy.
Super sad.
We get confirmation here that Bill still hates Mulder.
Yes.
He like walks past him like, ugh.
He's definitely still really salty towards him.
Mulder has the treatment,
Yes.
but doesn't give it to Scully because she doesn't want it. He like asks her about it, and she's like, no.
He doesn't really tell her that he has it though.
No, but he's like,
would you,
yeah,
would you do it if there was a treatment? And she's like, no, I wouldn't put her through it. So it's kind of crazy. She
kind of wild. I don't know how long it would have lasted.
No.
I mean,
I don't
she could have lived a full life, maybe.
What if
Who
that
knows?
did? Yeah. What if that like let her live? I think she still needed she needed it like all the time though.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. You could have like looked at it, try to see if you could recreate it.
Yeah, but they had like no time because of like how fast her body was like attacking itself. It was like she was literally just dying like the entire time she was in the hospital.
Yeah, try.
I agree. But instead she makes the decision not to, and she dies, and they're at the funeral, and super sad because Bill's wife has had the kid.
Sure.
So she's there with the baby, and Scully's just like looking at the baby.
You just got to find out you had a kid and it died, and I just had a kid. Isn't that wonderful?
I know. And Mulder shows up with flowers, and Scully's like really happy that he's there, which is very sweet. But then when they go to the coffin, and it's like
sand.
It's just like dust, and so she gets her necklace back. And now, like you said, after the episode, that necklace has like even more meaning than it already did, with just being something that she's literally worn her whole life.
We also have this whole thing where Mulder goes and he's like looking into things, and he finds this like retirement house.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's
where all
crazy.
these like old ladies are
being
like
impregnated.
They're like being used to like they're using them for their, I forget how this works, but they're not pregnant.
I thought they were.
I don't think so. I think that they're like giving off some kind of something from their bodies.
Well, they were giving them treatment. They were giving them like whatever specific, like estrogen and something else that like you wouldn't need to give.
Well, they've already went through menopause. They don't even have any eggs anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think that birthing them through old women.
But can you be like I mean, even if you've been through, well, I don't know about menopause.
No,
I guess you can't be a surrogate mom if you put like a baby inside of somebody.
If you were to do IVF on like a 70-year-old woman, I mean, yes, the oldest pregnancy I think we've ever had is like a woman in her early 60s or something. And I guess maybe she went through menopause. You exponentially increase the risk of birth defects and issues after a certain age. And so, yeah, I don't know. What happens if you do IVF?
I don't know.
On a 70-something-year-old woman who's already went through menopause and has anything left? I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, but all the women in the nursing home are the names on the adoption papers as the moms of all these kids.
I thought that they were like giving them these estrogen things and whatnot, and they were taking some kind of like excretion out of them.
I don't know. I thought they were like using them as
and using it to grow them in a lab with these women's like
maybe, I don't know, but
something.
Mulder discovers it, and then they're all gone. They
the
nursing home
just clear it out.
Just clear it out.
It's just like that storage unit in the other episode.
Yeah.
When he's like, you gotta wait till you see this, and he opens it, there's nothing inside. They clear that shit out so fast.
So fast. The other there was another scene in this episode that I know we both really liked where Mulder goes to the doctor to try and like get information, like because this doctor is refusing to give the medical records to the hospital, and the doctor's like, oh, I'm sorry, like our corporate shareholders, like this is an experimental treatment, like I can't tell you anything, and Mulder's like, and then he just like punches him and starts like he's screaming at him, and he pulls a gun on him.
Oh yeah,
and he is so angry and just
anything
like,
for Dana.
Tell me. So good. And then obviously like, you know, the security guard comes in and they're all just like looking at him, and Mulder's like, I'll be
don't
back
want no
for you.
smoke.
I'll be back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're like, I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Yeah.
I'm not taking this guy on. Yeah, the detective gets attacked.
He gets killed
by this. No, he lives.
Oh, that's right. He does live.
Yeah, Mulder goes back in
right.
and he shoots him, but then Mulder says, like, because I was like, get him on cold, get him cold.
Yeah.
We already know, we already have precedence for this. You already know what to do. And Mulder was like, yeah, I told him to do the cold treatment, and he looks like he's gonna make a recovery. So,
yeah, which is good.
They saved his life, so that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that. So that's episodes 6 and 7. Scully had a kid, and then she didn't. This is definitely an episode you could miss, and it wouldn't. I don't know if it would. I don't know. Will it be acknowledged again? Probably.
I think it will. I think it's pretty big, actually.
I think so. It's a big episode for
Yeah.
sure, but I'm curious on like, will Emily be brought up again? I'll be looking out for it.
Yeah.
We do not get her mentioned in the next like 6 episodes. I can tell you that. But
We'll see.
yeah, we shall see. All right. Adios.
Bye.